Exciting and new.
You're welcome. Have a good day. Okay, we are on the record in the matter of, actually, can we get Mr. Matherly in here, please?
Okay, I haven't seen a lot of this, but I saw some of it. It looked promising. It's Alyssa's fault, as usual. Sorry, I was doing tax stuff all night. Now I need to wind down so I can sleep.
Yes, okay. We're on the record in the matter of the state of Michigan versus Crystal Kirch, 25377. Your appearance, counsel?
Morning, Your Honor. John Goldclaw, P. 30758, on behalf of Ms. Kirch. Ms. Kirch, would you please put your name on the record?
Crystal Kirch.
Okay, and good morning.
Good morning.
Are you scheduled for the pretrial of this matter, counsel?
Your Honor, I've had an opportunity to speak with Ms. Kirch. I've also had an opportunity to speak with the prosecuting attorney. And I've also had an opportunity to speak with the victim's advocate in this particular matter. As to the pretrial, Your Honor, we are asking for a new pretrial so I can be provided with the discovery both from the prosecutor's office as well as there appears to be video taken by the this particular matter and sent to the police department as part of this investigation of cameras that he has in the house. So for those reasons, I need the discovery. Mr. Emily has just emailed me the paper discovery, which I just got. It was originally sent to Mr. Shemke. And so therefore he's sent that to me. So we're asking for an adjournment with respect for the purpose of the discovery.
Okay, and that's right, Mr. Matherly, we come in for the bond portion of it.
I understand.
So April 10th at and 9:15 a.m. The discovery order has been signed. Thank you very much.
And I've received the charge.
Okay, very good. And so counsel, bond on this matter.
Excuse me. And I am on the docket.
I know, I didn't look at that.
I didn't pull my phone out. No,
That's okay.
it didn't go off. I just wanted
I
to
did not look at that. You're here next week or the 17th?
17th, Your Honor, I need more time.
Okay.
Oops, excuse me, it did go off.
Go on. There we go.
Okay, now.
April 17th is 9:15 store. Yeah. All right, April 17th at 9:15 a.m. Okay, and so currently, Council bond is currently $10,000, 10% bond on this matter. She currently has another matter that she's already posted bond on, and that's on the assault and battery on her mother-in-law.
I understand that.
And so I have Mr. Matherly present because I don't know if he's aware of the background between these parties or not. So I know that he indicated that there is no objection to a personal bond with tether conditions. However, I just want to put on the record what the bond conditions are and why the court indicated in the bond that it did with the bond conditions.
And Your Honor, I
So
understand that. Thank you.
it's $10,000, 10% bond with the following bond conditions. No contact with Mr. Kirch. Not to return to the home on 6th Street unless accompanied by an officer to obtain personal belongings. Not to possess or consume any alcohol or drugs unless prescribed. Not to have access to firearms and or any weapons or have any possession of those. GPS and alcohol topic in the Wayne County Jail. Now, Ms. Kirch is no stranger to the court. She has another matter. So she had two prior MDOP matters within the city of Wyandotte. Cases, not state cases. There are two prior ones of that. Those matters ended up being nully crossed on several occasions. I believe that they were a few months apart.
I believe Your Honor, one was in July, one was in October.
That was only because she pulled some strings at the Wyandotte Swingers Club.
Or September. I can't recall
In
specifically.
reviewing the file.
Yes, I reviewed this again yesterday as well because she was here yesterday for her city pretrial.
And we understand that, Your Honor, and it's Mr. Serrano, I believe, is representing her. Yes.
And so in those matters, they were nully crossed as Ms. Kirch, I believe, was working on her alcohol issues. I'm not sure. Yes. So then, she got the, city case, I believe it was end of December, beginning of January. While that was pending, she ended up arrested, well, she posted a bond on that matter with the Wyandotte Jail, was released. Had a court date that was scheduled. Between that date and the court date, she was arrested for domestic violence on Mr. Kirch. And so that is why she's currently in custody.
Understand that, John.
So,
We're not asking for any changes in the bond conditions other than a personal bond. She has
Don't worry, it's all his fault. She'll tell you herself.
the inability, she can't get a hold of anybody to post that bond. So that's why we're asking everything else except to have to come up with the 10%.
I did not know about the.
I'm sorry, your appearance for the record?
Oh, sorry, Your Honor. This is Gunnar Matherly for the People, P number 87297. I did not know about that previous DV.
There was no previous DV.
Assault battery with the mother-in-law?
Yeah, yes, sorry. And then also, the reason why I didn't object, why I said no objection in the forum, I spoke to the victim advocate, Laura Dodge, about this, who's been in contact with the complainants, and that's just, I believe that the complainants are okay with that bond amendment, so that's why
Okay. The concern the court has is Ms. Kirch's ability to follow the court orders and not have contact with Mr. Kirch. And not consume alcohol.
Your Honor, she's going to be an alcohol offender. It's number one. That clearly will hopefully allay this court's concerns. And if she violates the alcohol tether, then we all know what's going to happen with that. As far as the contact, I'm surprised, no, I'm not going to say that. She knows she can't have any contact with him. It's simple as that. She has contact with him. She will now be in further violation of this court's orders. I would only ask that she be allowed under the circumstances so I can prepare for this, and hopefully maybe we can resolve both of these matters after speaking to Mr. Serrano in some sort of resolution, but I can't speak for anybody on that. At this point in time, we'd be able to get the discovery we need and then proceed accordingly. And I need that, need her out of jail so I can get this stuff to her. And we're not asking for no bonds. We're not asking for any other controls other than she doesn't have to come up with X number of dollars.
Does your client work?
She is employed,
No,
I'm sorry, no, she does not, she's not employed, Your Honor.
Ms. Kirch, why don't you work?
She's,
I'm going through disability. I was in the auto accident 4 years ago, and I actually missed a meeting with my examiner since being in here.
I'm sorry,
And what's the nature of your disability?
I've had a neck fusion, and my surgeon won't do I have a protruding disc in my lumbar, and my left leg goes numb all the way down.
Well, that doesn't seem to prevent her from getting charged with physical.
But alleged.
I'm working on it. I understand.
I understand
Judge, she also has IBS.
that's why I said charged.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Some DOPs, 2 of those that have been charged and know they crossed. I think maybe, ma'am, you have a little bit too much free time on your hands.
Your Honor, I'll be honest with you, I just want to go back to my house. I've been in here and I'm in my way detoxing from my husband, and I'm not trying to say anything bad about that. I want to be done with him. I want to be back in my life, and as you know me.
I mean, there you have it. I'm detoxing from my husband. She's picked up charges twice. She's wasted constantly, and it's his fault.
From the past, this is not me, and I'm done. I want to be done, and I just want to go back to my house.
Well, which house is that? Because you're not going back to the system.
No, my house in Southgate. I have my own house in Southgate.
Your Honor, she has a home in Southgate. It's located at 12972 Ward in the city of Southgate. That's where she will go.
I own that house, and I will go back there, and I just want to be there and get this all done, and I don't want to speak with him anymore. I have no legal trouble previous to this. I didn't have drinking problems previous to this.
Except for 2 days before. Oh my God. Even like, this is subtle, but even her, I don't work because I have a disc protrusion. I don't know. I deal with that all day. If you use the word protrusion, that specifically means it's small. If it was large, you would use the word herniation. She doesn't know any better. But I can't tell you the number of people I've represented with disc protrusions that are, swinging hammers and doing all sorts of physical stuff.
I want to be done back to my normal good life.
Okay. Did you want to respond anymore, counsel?
I would also, I've just been alerted by the OIC that there has been, the complaint's apparently been called several times from the jail, from the defendant.
I'm sorry, your name.
Detective Siegel, Your Honor. I spoke to Charles Kurtz, victim of this case, and he said that the no contact has been violated. She keeps screenshots of the jail calls, and they subsequently blocked them so they wouldn't come through, and there are multiple attempts. One occasion, she begged him for money so she can get out, and that was on Friday.
Ms. Kurtz?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have those screenshots?
Yes, ma'am, they're at ms.com. I can print them out for you.
Okay, yes, please. We're going to be there, counsel. Sure. Okay.
May I approach Rob?
Because I can't see that. Okay. Where we are. Okay, so we are recalling the matter, where's Mr. Gopal? Can you go, Mr. Gopal? Ms. Kurtz.
Is this the bond hearing, or is this a different one? Okay.
Yes.
That was editing, yo. There were cases in between and everything. I found the spot and I cut it out. You're welcome.
You can bring the complainant, and he's in my Zoom room.
Ms. Kurtz, I'm going to give you a warning right now. We're bringing Mr. Kurtz into the main session. There's not to be any nonverbal communication or verbal communication amongst the two of you.
Understood.
All right, so we are recalling the matter of Crystal Kurtz, 25377. And counsel, your appearance, please.
Your Honor, John Goldport, P30758.
And Your Honor, this is Gunnar Matherly for the people, P number 87297.
All right, and Mr. Kurtz? Mr. Kurtz? Mr. Kurtz? All right.
Hello, are you there?
Yes, your name for the record, please.
Charles Lewis Kirch.
I'm sorry, what's your first name?
Charles Lewis Kirch.
Okay, very good, thank you. I'm going to have you please raise your right hand, sir.
Yeah, this is the unhinged lunatic she needs to detox from. Now, all I know is what I see in this hearing, but he appears absolutely reasonable.
Mr. Kurtz, can you please raise your right hand?
Oh, yes.
You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Okay, and I'm also going to give you the warning that there's not to be any verbal or nonverbal communication with Ms. Kirch. All right, so, counsel, your appearance, please.
John Goldport, P30758.
All right, so it was brought to this court's attention during the pretrial portion, and then the court, Mr. Gopal requested of the court to amend Ms. Kirch's bond to allow her to be released from jail And then it was brought to this court's attention by the prosecutor by way of the, or by the officer in charge, Detective Sabo, by way of the prosecuting attorney, that Ms. Kirch has been trying to contact Mr. Kirch from the Wayne County Jail.
So, Your Honor, what I just handed you there was the screenshots of the call logs. I believe this is from last Thursday. Because I believe it is marked Wednesday and Thursday. There are.
I agree that's a possibility. But in this case, my gut's telling me she's the problem.
When you look at it, there are calls from 313-224. I believe that is the number that she was calling from. And I can have the complainant here reflect more on that in terms of what he was doing. I believe it was blocked, but I believe he told me that he answered the call the first time and then blocked it after that.
Okay. And Mr. Kirch,
Yes.
okay, did you receive a call from the Wayne County Jail?
Yes, I did.
What date was that?
Wednesday, I can't remember the date exactly. It was that on that Wednesday. That's on the sheet there. The exact date might have been the 19th, maybe.
Okay, so just a few days after the incident that Ms. Kirch was arrested for.
Yes. And like the gentleman said, I answered the first time. And she wanted her son's number. I did give her that. And then that was it. I blocked it from that night on.
Okay, and then how do you know that, that the, calls continued?
Well, they showed up blocked the next day.
And it was from the same number that contacted you on Wednesday?
Yeah, see, that's the thing. So when I looked Wednesday, it said prison jail, but then when I blocked it, it didn't say that. So you know what I mean? It's one of those. It doesn't say prison or jail. It just has the actual number.
Okay.
The next day, the 313 number.
Okay, so when it said prison jail as the caller ID, did it also have a number associated with it?
When it said that, yeah, I didn't. It said that on that Wednesday, correct?
Okay. And so, was there any other discussion on the phone call from Ms. Kirch?
No, just had to give her son's number.
And
Excuse me?
And so it appears as though there were,
I mean, this isn't a big deal, but I'm actually curious. Why does he have the number, but she doesn't have her son's number? That's just a weird scenario.
a multitude of other calls. All right, Mr. Mohawk?
Oh, if she's up for re-election, she'll get reelected. She's loved.
I was under the impression that when Detective Sabo came in here, that these phone calls had occurred recently. And it appeared, I mean, the one that,
Plus, with the backing of the Wyandotte Swingers Club, you can't lose.
They were recent. She was arrested on March 16th.
She
She
was
was
arraigned-
arraigned in this court on March 18th.
18th, and it appears there was a call that he answered on the 19th, and she was requesting her son's phone number. He gave that to her, and that's what at least it shows.
Okay, counsel, I really am not concerned with what reason it was that she contacted him. She was ordered no contact. No contact. not no contact except for your son's number, not no contact except to check on a pet, not any of that.
Your Honor, I understand that. And I'm assuming, the contact was so she could get bond money out. Obviously, because that's what they said before. He said, at least, okay, that she was asking him for money. That's what I recall being sent before. Now, we don't have that. I understand that, Your Honor. So all it shows is that she made a phone call from the jail, and that was it.
No,
Fine, so that-
then there's subsequent phone calls, 3.
Well, we don't know
6,
that.
9 minimum calls.
She made no contact with them, and they were blocked. But regardless, Your Honor, with respect to that, there was a showing she made one phone call that was at least confirmed that she's the one who made that phone call. And my assumption, since I wasn't present even at the arraignment, was that she was trying to get some money or get contact with somebody so she could bond out.
Well, that somebody should not have been Mr. Kirch.
If that was the only way, you're right, Your Honor, she shouldn't have called him, but there was no one else to call because that's the only phone number she had. It was a mistake on her part. Like I said.
Mr. Manderly?
Your Honor, given the recent cover today, I think it would probably be best to maintain the bond conditions. Just what they are, not lowering or anything like that.
Well, there was no lowering, Your Honor. We were just asking for.
If you watch her, she's like constantly nodding. It's really weird.
You were asking for a personal bond.
Personal
Right,
bond.
so that'd be lowering the bond. And the court is not inclined to do that, given that your client is currently in the Wayne County Jail, and while she's been in Wayne County Jail, she's in contact with the individual she was ordered no contact with, and then there's multitude of additional attempts to contact Mr. Kirch, but for him blocking the number, there would have been contact. But in any event, she was still contacting Mr. Kirch in direct violation of this order, and that is while she's in custody. So the court doesn't have much faith in the fact that when she's not in custody, that she's going to follow this court's orders. So the court is going to deny the request to amend the bond to be personal bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Bond and conditions are continued.
Ms. Kirch, get a hold of your son if you have that number. And so you can bind it out.
I do not have the correct number. I was not given the correct number.
Your Honor,
No, hold on. Yes, Mr. Kirch.
excuse me?
Yes, Mr. Kirch.
I would like to say something. I'm not in fear of my life like they asked me. I just know she has a problem with drinking and she needs to stop drinking, and I don't want her around my residence because she destroys my personal property. Other than that, she needs to get her life on track. We are going through a divorce. She really needs help with the drinking. That's all this stems from that. With all the prescriptions she's on, I'm no doctor, but I do know she does not need to be drinking. She's an animal when she's drinking. I'm not in fear of my life. Am I afraid that if she's drinking, she might get physical with me? Yes, but I just don't want her around my residence. That's all. I think she needs to get out and get her life on track. But she cannot be around my residence. This is too much. She destroys my house. She leaves my windows open, leaves my garage door open all weekend for people to steal my stuff that I've worked so hard for.
Mr. Kirch, thank you very much. I'm hearing everything you're saying, and those are all reasons why this court wants to make sure that the bond conditions are going to be complied with. And Ms. Kirch has had a number of opportunities. She's had matters dismissed a number of times, and the matter actually continues to escalate. Ms. Kirch, would you like to be tethered to treatment?
Yes. Would you like to be tethered to alcohol treatment?
I don't quite, just meaning like an alcohol GPS tether?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Are you interested in inpatient treatment for your alcohol addiction?
I would like to talk to my attorney on the side about that if that's possible.
Okay,
My advice to you is, the answer is yes.
Okay. I mean, how long is, my issue is right now, I go to therapy weekly. I've been in therapy for 8 years. I'm missing my therapy appointments. Like I explained earlier, I already missed my examiner appointment with my disability examiner. You know, so I am, like Mr. Kirch had said, I am missing things that need to get my life back on track being in here.
Yeah, you see, priority number one here is to stop drinking because you just got arrested twice and you're sitting in jail. So yeah, you kind of put a monkey wrench into whatever else you were doing in your life.
On top of not having my duloxetine from my Cymbalta for my mental health. So there are things like that, but I don't know what alcohol treatment is going, you know, like if I'm on the alcohol tether, I can't drink, you know.
ma'am.
Yes, Your Honor.
But it appears as though, even though you've been in treatment, that there's something that's not working because behavior's been progressing. So,
Yes, thank you, Judge DeSanto, for saying what we're all thinking. Whatever therapy you were doing, it failed.
the alcohol treatment, ma'am, if you're to be tethered to treatment, that would assist you in working through your addiction with the alcohol. You would have treatment appointments, you would have therapy appointments. I'm not saying that your current therapist isn't somebody that you can maintain upon discharge, but that you would be tethered to treatment during your bond phase.
Okay, if I can please just say, while my husband and I were separated and I was back at my house, even without the tether, I was not drinking at all. Even without the tether, I was not drinking at all, and I had no problems with not drinking at all.
Do you want to be tethered to treatment for alcohol or no?
What do I have, what is my other option, like?
Post a bond.
Post
She is fighting so hard because she just wants to drink. It's clear to me.
bond or stay where you're at?
Okay, so how long is alcohol treatment?
Well, you'd be there at least until your next court date of April 17th.
Okay, then yes, please.
All right. So the court will amend the bond to $10,000 personal bond so she can be tethered to treatment.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So you're not going anywhere but treatment.
I understand that, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor. And can I ask one more question, please?
What's that, ma'am?
The number, because I am admitting I did contact my husband for my son's number. I'm not, that is true. I don't have the correct number, and
Even though you were shaking your head no the whole time when somebody was stating that fact.
I have no other, the only reason I contacted because I don't know any other numbers, and I would like to be able to speak to my son.
Ma'am,
Yes.
I'm not going to facilitate an exchange of a phone number right now. Once you get to treatment, perhaps somebody from the treatment providing team can contact Mr. Kirch to get that information.
Okay, okay.
But not you, okay?
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
See you back April 17th. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Mr. Kirch,
Yes,
all right, have a good day.
thank you.
Am I all set here then, or am I going to speak with my attorney again?
I believe that Mr. Gopal has to go back into the jail here, so he can reach out to you, right, Mr. Gopal?
What? I'm
Do you
sorry.
need to speak to Ms. Kirch now, or do you want to reach out to her later time?
Put her back in the.
Okay, we'll put you back in the breakout room, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor. You have a wonderful day.
All right, you too. We're on the record in the matter of the state of Michigan versus James Nelson, 25200.
Right here.
Well, there you have it. There you have it. This is my life. I was working on files, and then I got to work on taxes. You guys were in there. Am I somewhere? No, I'm not somewhere. I've been here all year, with the exception of a little trip to Panama, New York, and Puerto Rico. Just that. I haven't been traveling. But so I do all this stuff, and I think to myself, this is how crazy I've become. Because like I'm all irritated with all the stuff I have to do because it's just whatever. It isn't bad. It's just not fun. And I'm like, all right, I've got this clip sitting around. I'm gonna wind down with this clip, and then I get into it, and it's this woman making me nuts. That's Law Talk with Mike for you here. Although this is Vlog Talk with Mike, which is a totally different experience. We've got balloons. Thanks for coming out. I'll see y'all soon.